I'm a little bit of a pirate when I'm tattooing, and having a sense of humor through all that is kind of good. I want them to feel comfortable around me, and I want them to feel themselves. You know, this is a time where they're expressing themselves completely.
To celebrate our community of local artists, the Art Museum of South Texas is asking 10 creatives one question. What 10 tools do you use to make blank?
My name is Cindy Saenz. I tattoo at Axis. I've been tattooing for almost 17 years. Drawing and painting has always been my thing. I like a lot of ink kind of painting. I do a lot of, I started with pencil when I was a kid, and then I started learning with pen because my father did a lot of pen work. And then I met a friend that did graffiti in high school, and that's where I learned a lot of my color. It's good to go through an apprenticeship because it's like you gotta learn some of the basics all over again, but it does help to have an artistic background because it just still kind of goes together, but you still need other things, you know. Drawing, you're not getting that same technique, the same vibe, because, you know, like with the tattoo machine, it's like, you know, you got bones are rattling, you know what I mean? There's different types of machines and stuff like that nowadays, but I'm very traditional, so I'm still with the coil. So it's a pretty, a little jackhammer machine. So yeah, I like the mechanics of it. It's like an old car kind of thing, you know. It's definitely a collaboration of ideas, and we are in it together, you know, and so I'm never against any idea. I'm all for anything that they want, but I also got to think of it as put together as a tattoos. I have some that are artists already, and maybe they want some of their art on them. That is always really challenging and harder just because I respect their work and I really want it to come out as close as possible to what they're bringing because it's very important. As the permanent part of it is, I taught myself not to think like that anymore because at the beginning that kind of like made me like real like a lot of pressure. And like I said, again, the clientele that I have, they're so awesome. They understand. They're down, you know. So it's like it's not too much of a problem. As tattoos heal, we can go back into things and maybe freshen things up, or maybe add some little highlights here, or maybe like, hey, we can do this and that too, just to kind of maybe change up a little bit of a vibe that maybe they want to like evolve. Definitely like to have my references around. You don't want to like lose a stencil or anything like that. Now I lose stencils a lot, but I'll have my drawing on the side and I can just like kind of just do it. Yeah, I used to be terrified when that would happen. I would be like, oh my, like it's scary. I draw so much of the image that I'm gonna, you know, before, you know, they get it, and it's really fresh, so it kind of gets locked in my head. I went with learning how to do traditional Americana. So I really had to learn line work. Like I did lines and stuff on paper, but this is now like, I had to be really strict about it when I first started because it was the line work. I really wanted it to be as crisp as I could. So with traditional Americana, the line work is really important. And most of it is, there's a lot of heavy shading in that, a lot of good contrast. And then after the black, we go into the colors. Now with that, we were kind of taught as in like, you know, a lot of the darker colors first because then you do the light colors, because sometimes if you do some of the lighter colors, you know, ahead, they'll muddy up with the other colors because now your skin is sort of soaking up and absorbing other pigments. Where I have like some horror like enthusiasts that really are into horror movies, and I've been doing a lot of that, and so I have people like they're collecting, like they have a lot of work on them, and that's pretty cool. This style called like black work, and that's kind of, I really dig that style. Kind of reminded me of when I did pen and ink, like on paper, and it was just so neat to know like, oh, people are starting to want that, you know, like they want that pen and ink look, you know, on their skin, and like, oh, this could be so cool, you know? And so what I love about that is that the way I do it with the tattoo is really close to how I would do it like on paper. The side project also carries a lot of my love for, you know, vintage and things like that. So just everything that I've been involved with growing up is kind of what I do with that. For a short amount of time was kind of brought up more in like a farm kind of land. So I would like get in my own little world, and I get all lost in like the trees and like make stuff. A lot of it too, on certain things, like stuff that I make like with the bones and like things like that, I tend to like draw things like that. So it kind of reflects on that. It's just me kind of bringing that to life in like a 3D kind of way. The other day I had a client ask me, well, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up? You know, just she was really cute about it. And I'm just like thinking like, I think I'm doing it, you know? This is pretty much living my dream right now. Working at Axis and, you know, my little side project, I've grown a lot as a person and as an artist because of these places.